Well, I made it home, no problem. A little chilly this morning. A little chilly, not bad. A little chilly though. Went with a bunch of babies this morning. They were all good. And I'm hearing reports out of Ohio that all the babies were good today. And actually, I love it. They put them all in sets this morning. So that's great. Jason's doing his job well in Ohio. Today here, as I said, we had some babies to go with that we just bought. Just been going with them. And we had 5 horses to school today at Mohawk, and that was going to be a little tricky because they only usually have about 2 schoolers. So it's odd because here in Ontario, I like it, the fact that you can win schoolers and there's always usually a lot of people there looking to go. But the problem is, if you have 2 schoolers, you always have 1 or 2 guys that want to go around 53 or 54. That's kind of what took place today. Now, when I decided to go with Eldys Patrick and a filly named Playtime for Eva. Now, this is owned by Derek and Derek and Steve and Jesse. Clients are ours, breeders also, friends. This filly's been here for about 2 months. They wanted to get an idea of, listen, is she any good? Are we going to keep her? Are we going to go with her? I thought she was good. The only problem was she was ready to go a mile about 2.6. I went 2.5 and 3 in the mud. They went 53 in front of me, though. So I was beat what felt like an eternity. But you couldn't ask her to do anything more. I wasn't disappointed with her. In fact, usually when you put a horse like that in a position, mud, windy day, horses that are going way faster than them in front, they get sour, right? They don't want to do their work. And I don't blame them. I would too. And she did her work well. So I was happy with her. Unbeatable Kemp and Stay Close. James went with them. He said they were a little bit flat, but it was just so muddy. It was hard to get a real gauge on how they were. One wears mushroom bars, the other one wears flip-flops, and I'm telling you, I couldn't see my glasses. I was covered in mud when I come off the track. So it's really hard to get a gauge from that. This is the 4th fast mile they've gone. We're going to put them into qualify next week. I did want a nice schooling day and go a mile 56 with them, but unfortunately, you got to, as we say all the time, play the hand that you're dealt. It was muddy. It was windy. It was not a nice day. And they both went 59 or something. Absolute euphoria. First time ever behind the gate. Now, we were obviously stuck. Do the math. 5 doesn't win to 2. 2 doesn't win to 5. Very good. We had an extra. Phil Hudon went with Absolute Euphoria. She made a little break in the first turn. He said she was running in a little bit. She got a right splint that bothers her. But we didn't have anything on her. So I think we'll go to a Murphy Blind and a bit burr on her next week to qualify. But what I was so impressed with was she went right up to the gate. Now, take nothing away from her. She went a mile and 2.2 last half in a minute on a muddy track. She's exactly where we wanted to be with her. We'll qualify her in 59-ish next week, but very impressed with the way she looked. I got a good look at her because I was at the back also with Playtime for Eva. Then I went with Eldys Patrick. Full disclosure, he made a break halfway down the backstretch on the front end. We changed his shoes, put flip-flops on him. Is that why? I don't want to make excuses. Something's biting this guy. He's not lame. He's not hanging on a line, but he is running out in the straightaways. Coming out of the gate, he was fine. He felt like the old Eldys Patrick, where he might look a little bumpy, but he feels safe. And that's the vibe we always got from him. He might have looked bumpy in the mile, but he never acted like it. Today, as we started into the backstretch, he was trying to find his footing. Now, he does have winter cork. He's the first horse we went on that track that had winter cork on. Winter cork on a track that's not wintry and muddy. Could that have played a role? Yes. There's a lot of things that could have played a role, but certainly nothing definitive. He's rough and rough and rough. Finally, I just chirped to him, and he trotted forward for 2 or 3 strides and rolled off. And I don't know why. I honestly can say I don't know why. So, I talked to Cindy after. She said, before you took him to Ohio last year, we did his left hind ankle. It's on the left side. Right? He's over on the right shaft a little bit. He's running out the straightaways, but he always did. So I'm a little perplexed. I'm going to watch. I can't watch the schooler. There's no video. But I can, I guess, replay it in my head. I would like to see something, as I said, a little more definitive from him to say, this is what it is, and this is how we're going to fix it. But I don't have that particular item. So we're going to go back to at least the way he trotted. He had weight on up front. I took it back off. Instead of putting toe weights on him, I'm going to opt for a set of bell boots, which I'm not a huge fan of because he touches a knee. Doesn't pound it though, he touches it. So maybe I'll tape his knees up rather than put knee boots on him. There's some things I'm going to try with him, but I think what I am going to do, I guess until he's perfect, there's just no rush, right? I know everybody wants him racing, and none of you want him racing more than I do, but I want him racing at 100%. So I think I am going to push it back another week, make the changes I want to make with him. I'm going to have the vet do his lower hocks again. I'm going to ask her to do that left hind ankle again, as we know that they're bothering them. And Jason and I and Cindy and I have talked about this. They got a better idea of him. Cindy sees him every day, and Jason, Jason trains the horse, so he knows him very well also, and trained him all fall over in Ohio before he got back here. So I think that's maybe what we're going to do. And I want to go over our vet records from Ohio on this guy also, because I know Mike loves to internally do an internal blister on their stifles. I want to know if he did this guy's left one also. So there are some things we're going to do with LD's Patrick, but I didn't get the sense that I saw the video and I've sat behind him and I know his feet were killing him. They weren't today. I think that in that regard he was good. But even down the lane, again, finishing up, running out. So something on the left side is bothering him. And I want to get a feel of what that may be. So Angelica's not back, I think, till next Tuesday or Wednesday, which would be fine. Tuesday would be preferable, as we would reschool him on Friday. I know everybody wants him in, but I'm going to ask you for just a little more rope with this guy, just a little more patience and a little more leeway with LD's Patrick. We all want him right. We all want him going forward in the right direction. Today, I think he wasn't as bad as he's been. It was different, and I'm just going to try and unpack that in my mind and what it was and what I felt I saw and how we may be able to mitigate that. He's there. He's already trotted in 55. It's just a matter of ironing out those last little wrinkles that are bothering him a little bit. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. That's what our plan is with all the horses. You're going to see Absolute Euphoria into qualify. You're going to see Stay Close, Unbeatable Kemp, all three of those into qualify next week. You probably are not going to see LD's Patrick Indigo just yet. Soon, but just yet. And Playtime for Eva's not ready to go for about 2 weeks. So that's what my day looked like so far. We don't have a whole lot on the go tonight, except for our girl, Lauren, is going all the way to Dayton, I believe, to drive. If I'm not mistaken, going all the way to Dayton. I think it's Dayton. To drive Walk on the Moon tonight. So good luck to her. Saturday, I don't think I can make it to Ohio tonight. You know, they're calling for a foot. Not only are they calling for 6 feet potentially of snow in some areas, they've shut down the I-90 and towards Erie in different places. And they literally, I just heard it on the radio, they said that they were asking people to stay off the roads in New York and the New York area unless it was absolutely necessary to go out and travel. Now, it's not absolutely necessary. I do have racing next Tuesday. I see that Grace, we've opted, for those of you out there, I'm giving you a heads up, and you haven't got an email yet, for those of you that are my partners on Arches Rainbow, she's in to go at the Meadows next week on Wednesday, simply because I watched them going like 2-3 the other day. Arches Rainbow is going to be going to the Meadows on for Wednesday afternoon's racing. I'm not going to be present. Hunter Myers can drive Arches Rainbow and who's that? Stacy and Grace this week. I will go to race Tuesday night at Northfield Park, stay over, go with the babies Wednesday morning, and then be back home Wednesday afternoon. So that's actually a real good schedule for me, one that I'm very happy with, and that I can do quite easily. So next Tuesday afternoon-ish, I'll be off to Ohio, stay overnight, go with the babies Wednesday, and then head home. I'll be back here Wednesday evening to continue on with what's going on. Now, you guys, if you're not in Ontario, you probably haven't heard, they're facing a teacher strike. Or hold on, CUPE strike. So it's not the teachers, it's, I think the custodians and whatnot are potentially striking next week. If the kids are out of school, Amy and I might go over to Ohio, I suppose. But we do have horses here that Amy's going with, that Amy is in charge of also. So that is going on also. Just, it's never just a serene, quiet day, right? Especially here at the stable. There's always something going on, good or bad. Not a whole lot of bad today, a lot of good. And that is it for today. As I said, I'll talk to you guys soon. Good luck to Lauren this evening or this afternoon at Dayton Raceway, and everybody else racing all weekend. I will talk to all of you very soon. Take care.